you turned on your heat for the very first time. It just got cold, makes sense. Now you smell something. Now, it may be okay, but I'm going to talk about the different kind of smells that are okay and not okay when you first smell them on your startup of the heating system.
No sales gimmicks, no confusion, just expert advice to help you stay comfortable and save money. And now, the Information for Customer Success show.
You turned it on and you have that mild dusty or musty odor. That's just the dust and the debris that has settled on your furnace's heat exchanger or electric elements, and it's burning off after months of inactivity. That smell should fade within a couple of hours, usually a couple of minutes even, but let's just say a couple of hours. However, any smell that's sharp, that smells like chemical, or is definitely persistent, is not normal and could be a sign of potentially a really big problem. So a burning plastic or electric odor smell may mean the systems are overheating, some components, some wiring issues, motors. A rotten egg smell definitely indicates some kind of a gas leak. Smoky or oily odors can suggest combustion venting problems. And if the smell doesn't go away quickly or seems unusual, well, it's just safest to shut off your system and definitely call a professional. So let's kind of dive into these specific things. Okay, so a normal smell. What is that normal smell? So why does it happen? What's happening is that over the summer, a thin layer of dust collects on the heat exchanger, the burners and other heating elements inside your system. When you fire it up, the heat for the first time, that dust starts to actually burn. It burns off. And there's a fine layer of it. And that's where the smell comes from. It's perfectly normal every time you have that first initial startup. It's kind of like when you turn on your oven for the first time in a while, you get that brief dusty scent as it burns away the residue. The key thing to know is that this smell should fade again after a few hours. So if it's just that light, dusty odor, and it goes away pretty quickly, that is normal. You should expect that every single time your heating system sits there stagnant for a while and it gets turned on for the very first time. But if the smell lingers or turns into anything else that's concerning, we're going to talk about what that stuff is. But here's a visual that actually shows you a heat exchanger. It could be different things. Could be electric, could be definitely gas. You could even have it on a hot water coil. So if your system is a hot water coil type system, you can definitely have that dust settling on the coil, and even that will burn off slightly, although not as much as a gas-fired furnace. Now, I know some of these smells I described, some people may not really know what it means, but I think throughout most of our lifetimes, we've definitely experienced some of these smells in various different things, especially if you talk about toys that had electronics in them and the motors burnt out. We kind of know what that electric smell is. So there are a few smells that are definitely not normal. Number one is that electrical smell. Smells like burning plastic, hot wiring. That can mean there's an issue with your blower motor, electrical components, just general overheating with some electrical things. Shut down the system right away. It probably could cause more damage if it keeps running, and then call a professional. You have to shut down the system if you smell that smell, and it doesn't have to be for hours and hours. That dusty, moldy, musky type of smell, it could persist for many hours. As long as you're paying attention to it, you're okay. Just, you're burning it off. This, if you're smelling that electrical smell and it's suspect, don't keep running the system. Shut it off and call a professional. All right, a big red flag is the rotten egg or sulfur smell, which everybody understands the rotten egg and sulfur. I think we've smelled it in many different things. This is a big red flag. This usually pinpoints some kind of a gas leak, some kind of exchange of the inside the heat exchanger of flue gases and the air that actually heats the home. They mix. That's why you're smelling it. In that case, don't try to find a source. Just turn off the system, and again, leave the house potentially. Maybe there is a real gas smell. Call your gas utility company immediately because that's gas scent. We don't know the extent of it. Most of the time, it is nothing to worry about. You probably just found out that the heat exchanger has some kind of a leak in it. The heat exchanger, again, is that component inside the furnace where you have flue exhaust gases that do not mix with the air that's moving past it. But if there's holes in the heat exchanger, now you're going to get a mixture of house air and exhaust flue air sort of mixing. Now, that could be happening for a while and has different degrees to it. That one, obviously, you should not continue to use the furnace. But if that rotten egg smell is super strong, there's a good chance of a gas leak. And don't mess around with gas leaks. Call a utility company right away. They may actually find a gas leak, or they may tell you to, that is inside the appliance, inside the HVAC furnace, and they may tell you to call your HVAC furnace professional after they do their inspection. Kind of obvious, but if you ever smell smoke, oil, that could mean incomplete combustion. A cracked heat exchanger, a blocked flue, all serious problems that need attention right away. I actually find blocked flues quite common, especially with high efficiency furnaces. So high efficiency furnaces are the ones that have the PVC pipes going outside. They're usually down low in the sidewall. I mean, they may be up high, but a lot of the retrofits, especially in a basement type environment, will have them somewhere down low. You'll see steam coming off from those pipes in the wintertime. Well, it's a perfect place in the summertime for little critters to start crawling and nesting in there, and often either they're found in there or their nests are found in there. So the initial startup usually brings that out. This is why you should always get a preventive maintenance before the heating season, meaning don't wait to fire up your furnace and go, oh, there's a problem. Get somebody in there a month ahead of time, right before heating season. But that is a dangerous situation. So bottom line, if the smell doesn't fade quickly, if it's sharp, if it's harsh, if it's got a chemical element to it, shut it down, call a professional, don't take any risks, be safe. We'll figure out what is happening, but stay safe. This stuff is dangerous. This is beyond not being comfortable. Every house can survive for some duration of time without heat. And of course, it's very easy to go to your local store and pick up some electric heaters to make it through the day, the night, or whatever it is. But do not operate your heating system if you smell these things. All right, now, why did all of this happen? I'll tell you why it happened. It's your fault. It's essentially your fault it happened. Before you fire up your heat next fall, schedule your maintenance in early October. We come in, we clean, we test, we make sure that the first smell you notice is nothing but peace of mind. You honestly have to have a professional. And when it comes to anything that's fossil fuel burning, whether it's oil, propane, gas, if you're burning those fuels, those are extremely dangerous appliances if things are not operating correctly in them. And you're just taking a huge risk with either creating a fire or creating an indoor atmosphere where the air is harmful to breathe. So do not take those chances. Please schedule preventive maintenance.